What's up guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel Xman Co. Today we're making beautiful cottage pie. Now cottage pie, the name was first used at the end of the 18th century. It was about that time that the poor people of Britain, people living in the countryside in cottages, started using potatoes as an everyday food. And guys, today we've got cottage pie. We're so grateful for those guys. This is going to be a great cook. As always, let me introduce you guys to all our ingredients here today. It will always be listed down below in the description for you guys to note later on. For now, just enjoy this video. Let me mention a couple. We've got some potatoes here. We've got some carrots, salt and pepper, garlic. We're using brown onion soup today. You can use beef broth, chicken broth, whatever you like. We've got some tomato paste, some flour, milk, egg, a few herbs and spices, olive oil, cheese, and we do have peas here today as well, just to complement this beautiful dish that we're making. Lastly, our ground beef. It's about 750 grams that we're using here today. We've got a fire here behind us, so we're going to prep all of our ingredients quickly, and then this is going to be a three-part cook. First, we're going to sort out our potatoes, then we're going to move over to our ground beef, our mixture, our filling, and then, guys, it's going straight to the Weber where the magic's going to happen. For the first part of this cook, we're going to move over to our potatoes. First of all, guys, you want to make sure that it's nice and clean. Then we're going to remove the skin of each of these potatoes. We're using about 1 kilogram of potatoes here today. Thereafter, you want to cut it into smaller pieces. This will ensure that once it's boiling, it'll go much faster. At this stage, you want to bring your water up to boiling point on the fire, and once it's nice and boiling, you want to add your potato. You want to let this simmer for about 5 to 10 minutes until the potatoes are nice and tender. At this point, guys, we're going to remove it off the fire and move over to our savory beef mince mixture that we want to do for today. The next part of this cook, guys, is our savory beef mince filling. So for that, we're going to need an onion, some carrots, and let's just prep that quickly and then we can move on to the next step. First of all, what you want to do is remove the skin of the onion, cut it in half, and then we're going to dice it really fine. For this dish, it's going to work perfect. Once the onion is done, we're going to move over to the carrots. We're going to slice it in half and maybe cut it again. You want to end up with small cubes, so we're just going to cut it then 90 degrees to that and make sure we get beautiful small cubes for this dish. At this stage, you want to grate your cheese. We're going to use about 50 grams of cheese, and this is going to go with our potato. At this stage, you want to make sure that your skillet is nice and warm. Once you're happy that the skillet is warm, you're going to add some olive oil. Once your oil is heated up, it's time for your onions. We want to saute the onions for a couple of minutes until it's nice and translucent. Then we're going to move over to our carrots. Your carrot's going to saute for another 2 to 3 minutes. At this stage, we want to add our garlic. You also want to add some salt and pepper. For some aroma and beautiful flavor, we're going to add some thyme and then some rosemary. Once you're done with the carrots and all your spices, it's time to put in our ground beef. So you want to work that in and just simmer it for at least 5 to 8 minutes and make sure all of those beautiful flavors mingle and become one. 2-3 minutes into the simmering process of the ground beef, we're going to add some tomato paste. You just want to work that into this whole mix. We're going to let the tomato paste just simmer for another 3 minutes or so. Then we're going to add our flour. We're adding about 3 to 4 tablespoons of flour, and this is going to bring richness and bring all of this food together and just make sure that it's nice and thick once we add our sauce. At this point, it's time for our brown onion soup. Traditionally, you could use beef broth, chicken broth, whatever works for you. We decided on the brown onion soup and we mixed it with 2 cups of water. As you can see, our mixture here is already thickening, and that's exactly what we're after. This is looking so beautiful. Lastly, we want to add some peas. We've got some frozen peas here. It's about 250 grams, and that's going to be exactly what we need for this dish. We've let the savory filling that we've got here simmer for another 3-4 minutes after we added the peas. So now it's time to come off the fire. Now that our savory mince is off the fire, it's time to sort out this top layer of this beautiful cottage pie. That's going to be our potato mash. What we're going to need initially is a big chunk of butter. We're going to add that. Then we're going to add a little bit of milk. We're going to mash it a bit, get it into a nice texture, nice and soft. Then we're going to add our egg. We're also going to work this in. We're going to add some salt and pepper. Once that's nicely mixed, it's time for our grated cheese. throw that in there, and then just make sure it's all nice and smooth. Mix them up, get them ready. Now it's time to layer this beautiful cottage pie of ours. First things first, you want to make sure that your dish is sprayed with spray and cook, or you can use butter, whatever works for you. You just make sure that it's nicely lined. Then we can move over to layer this beautiful cottage pie. So we're going to do 2 to 3 centimeters of the bottom layer, which is our savory mince. So you want to do that layer, make sure it's nice and flat. Then we're going to move over to this beautiful potato mash. Now the potato mash, you can do 2 centimeters plus minus. That's just a rough estimate of what you can work with. Once you've made sure that's nice and flat, we're going to make it pretty by using a fork. So you just want to run lines from one side to the other. You can decide how deep, and this is something very optional. You don't have to do that, but we found in the past it looks and presents beautifully, so it tastes even better. We're going to put this cottage pie on indirect heat on the Weber. You want to do about 20 to 25 minutes at about 200 degrees Celsius. We're going to let this Weber do its thing, and then we'll see you guys in a bit. 25 minutes later, guys, cooking in this beautiful Weber, and this dish should be ready now. Let's go check it out. This looks absolutely amazing. Guys, this dish is piping hot. We're going to give it 10 minutes to rest because nobody wants to put this hot food in their mouth, although we are pretty tempted. See you guys in a bit. Guys, let's dig in. Moment of truth. Guys, it's still piping hot, but it's time to chow. Cheers, boys and girls. Wow. This is amazing. It's truly, traditionally amazing. This is beautiful. It's actually fluffy on top, and we didn't intend it to be like that, but it's just perfect. This cottage pie's got all the flavors. I can even get the garlic that's coming through. It's fantastic. Guys, you know you have to try this out. If you like what you're doing, like, share, subscribe. Enable those notifications so you get notified as soon as we upload a new video. Thanks for watching. We cannot do it without you. We'll see you on the next one. This is nice. Let's dig in.